Did you want multiple of us to test the recording? Did you want to make us co-hosts so we can also record?
Yeah, let me do that real quick.
And then we were going to test active view versus grid view, right?
Yep. I don't know. We can talk about that a little bit. There's two different modes for those of you that aren't familiar with Zoom. There's an active speaker mode, so it kind of makes the person that's actively speaking larger, which, you know, in my opinion, probably makes more sense for this type of event. So since all the focus is going to be on one person at each particular moment. But we can also do a grid view so you can see everybody that's joined to the call. And I don't know, one of the things we're testing right now is whether it makes a difference for the recording. I don't know if the recording is based on what the person recording is seeing or if they do kind of a generic recording. So that's one of the things we're testing right now.
I have a little experience with that. And although it was with only 2 people on the call, I did a recording. And even though I had my screen set up in the grid mode, it was active speaker.
Okay. And that's honestly, yeah, I think that's the way that we'd want it anyways. So that's not a huge deal. It would have been interesting to be able to switch back and forth if we wanted to, but I think that that's fine for us since, you know, essentially one person's going to be speaking at a time. So that should be fine. Seems like aside from myself, nobody's really having any issues. I'm able to hear everybody fine. The video looks good for everybody. We've got most of our questions answered. MT, I was wondering if you'd be willing to run through what your agenda looks like and what you're expecting throughout. I know that you had that kind of drawn up a while ago, so I think it'd be good to kind of get that out there so everybody knows what they're going to be expected to do.
I have to dig it out. I didn't know I was doing that today.
I like to sneak attack you. So while you're digging that up,
the scenario that Beth Ann and I drew up.
Yeah, and one of the other questions that I had was my 3-year-old's coming to visit. You say hi? So one of the other questions I had was, we're going to be splicing in pomp and circumstance in the beginning and the recorded alma mater at the end. I didn't know, for those of you that are going to be speaking, whether it would kind of help kind of get you guys in the mood if we were to play that during the recording. So like because we're not going to capture it during the recording, we can do it higher quality if we splice it in afterwards. But if you guys feel like it would kind of make it feel more like commencement and help you guys, you know, while you're speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
Yeah, so we can pipe it. We can kind of start it out with pomp and circumstance. We'll pipe it through. What you see and hear isn't necessarily going to be what you see and hear on the video, like when we get done and once we are recording it. But we'll do the beginning and end just like it will be on the video.
Just to be clear, you're going to record it, or you're going to play it while we talk?
Nope. We're gonna kind of come in. It's gonna be pomp and circumstance, just like at the real commencement. We're gonna kind of come in with maybe 30 seconds to a minute of pomp and circumstance, just to kind of. I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna look like.
Tom, that usually goes for about 8.5, 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we really want to do that.
Like the real one. Yeah.
No, that's true. But yeah, we'll play it ahead of time, so you guys can kind of get a feel for what it'll be like. And then, you know, on the way out, we'll play the alma mater recording that we have as well. But just know that, you know, what you see during the meeting isn't necessarily what it's going to look like when we get it uploaded, because we have higher quality recordings. We'll splice it in and kind of overwrite those sections. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
great.
We'll do some testing, maybe, you know, amongst the IT staff to make sure that we can do a reasonable quality kind of rebroadcast of those, so you guys can kind of get that feeling get that commencement vibe going. MT, were you able to pull up your?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Let me pull you back up here. I have technical difficulties on my laptop. I have to go to off direct into my computer desktop in order to use Zoom. So I'm on like a whole nother segment in order to use Zoom. It doesn't come through with audio and video on my remote desktop. So I have to go back and forth to the other.
I can pull it up and read through it if
I
you
have it
want.
in front of me. MC, if you want, I have it in front of me.
Oh, thank you, because I have an older desktop and it doesn't let me Zoom with any.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. So we decided just to keep things kind of smooth and moving along that I would sort of play the role of MC. So
Mhm.
we stop the pomp and circumstance. I'll just like the ceremony and say like, welcome everybody and you're at nearest exit. And then ask President Zupan to kick us off. And then, so Mark will speak first, and then Mark, will you introduce Greg?
Yes.
Great. Then Greg is going to introduce Peter Cuneo. And then after Peter talks, I'll jump back in and introduce Amber. And Amber will give her remarks. And then I'll introduce Anastasia, and she'll do her remarks. And then I'm just going to do sort of a general, and now our deans would like to say congratulations to our students. I'll introduce Jay in particular, but then Jay, you hand it off to Gabby. Gabby hands it off to Gerard. Gerard hands it off to Dave, and Dave, you hand it off to Mark. And then Mark Zupan, you're going to close for us, right? Great.
Works for me.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Okay. One other question that I forgot about until just now was when we got the audio for Pomp and Circumstance, I didn't know what you guys wanted to be playing on the screen during that, or if you want it to just be kind of blank. I don't know if there's an image that you want pulled up, or if you want us to be playing. I mean, obviously during the meeting it doesn't really matter because it's just kind of for you guys. But when Hannah's doing the adding in Pomp and Circumstance, do you want us to be playing maybe a clip from a previous commencement, or do you want just like a placeholder image, just kind of like a static image with the Pomp and Circumstance playing?
It would be good to have something dynamic rather than a still image. Some video. We have great videos of flying over our campus.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Is
Something
just
inspirational.
doing
I would
some
agree
drone
with
shots.
Gerard. Having brings people back to Alfred wherever they are. It brings them back.
When do the pictures of the students show up?
Those are actually going to be in virtual or digital yearbooks that are going to be hosted outside. We're not going to actually play the images, across the meeting, just because if people want to see the images, they'll be able to, download the file and flip through them at their leisure, and they can do that during the video if they want to. We're going to have them linked on the same page as the live stream link. So right now, celebrate.alfred.edu just points to our commencement page. And we did that just kind of as a placeholder. So if we needed to switch, we weren't exactly sure what technology we were going to be using when we created that. So after looking through some of the YouTube documentation and stuff like that, I think we're just going to leave it pointed to the commencement page, and we'll have the YouTube premiere video embedded there. Before and during the quote unquote live stream, the premiere, it'll just redirect them to like if they try to click play on that, it'll send them out to YouTube to watch it. That gives them, some live chatting abilities, and it makes it more interactive. As soon as the video is done, we can have it set to be embedded on that page, so they don't, like if they click play after the event is over, it'll play right there on that page. And I assume that probably after that, it's going to be the high quality version that we upload anyways, so it'll be available for people to watch after the live event.
Great.
All right, so that's pretty much everything that I had for this. Did anybody have any questions or anything they want to add?
I have a question about the recording. You said this is not going to be live. It's going to be pre-recorded.
Yes.
Who is going to schedule this? I'm assuming that somebody is going to help us record it, or are
Yep.
we going to put it ourselves? Send it.
It's going to be just like this. So it's going to be a recorded Zoom meeting.
Okay.
We've actually already got it scheduled for Wednesday at 3. I've got to get the link out to MT, and she'll update the placeholder that she sent out with that link. So we'll join just like this. You know, obviously myself, and I'm probably going to rope in Dan Hausman just because that's what I do. So myself and Dan will be on the meeting. I won't have my camera on, and we'll probably change our names to like AU recording or something like that, so that if we do for whatever reason show up on the stream, it's clear, you know, what we're there for.
Tom, do you think it'd be better to have assigned times for everybody to do the recording, and as opposed to having everybody on at the same time?
I mean, that's certainly a possibility. One of the reasons for doing it all at once, you know, in one big meeting is to avoid, Mike Kozlowski brought up the concern about it being too sterile and feeling too recorded. He wanted it to feel more live and to have everybody kind of able to really transition from person to person and potentially even play off of each other and, you know, kind of have that continuation, that live vibe.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, it's more like we're actually talking to each other and we're actually handing it off to each other. I think that looks more natural.
Yeah, we're kind of going for a balance of a live event versus, you know, trying to have the feeling of a live event without all of the, you know, potential risks. So this is a nice middle ground.
And we're going to limit ourselves to half an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think that we're looking for 1.5 to 2 minutes from the deans, if I'm remembering correctly, MT. It was just like a quick, yeah. And I think the whole event is going to be maybe 20 to 30 minutes if everything goes as planned.
A minute is plenty.
Yeah. So it's going to be short and sweet. It's certainly not meant to take the place of commencement. It's going to be, you know, just a celebration, exactly what it's.
Good.
What's on the tin.
Have you gotten any response yet of students' photos?
I actually looked earlier today, and there were only 4 uploads.
Okay.
So
well, I know some of them are just getting their stalls today.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that we'll know in a couple of days if that's going to be a viable idea. Do you remember what we've set as the cutoff, the deadline for that?
The cutoff was the 13th was the first date, and then I think probably answer that better. I think we moved it to the 15th.
Yeah.
Due to some of the delays and technical difficulties we had.
Yeah. So I'll keep an eye on it, and we'll definitely probably accept submissions right up until, you know, whenever the digital yearbooks are created. But we want to obviously be as inclusive as possible while still getting the job done. So, Jody, have you done any testing with that to see what that process looks like?
I haven't tested it. Just like I said, I researched it quite a bit, finding a platform that looked like it would work well with both the photo, and it gives us the opportunity to upload video. So I thought it would be nice to upload the video from this afterward. And we may have to do it in segments, but I thought that would be a nice option. So we can accept submissions, you know, through Saturday. Maybe that's a better day that they'll want to wear them during the ceremony. And so, you know, if we do send another email out about it, maybe we could add that into it. Just pushing, if you're dressing up in your regalia on Saturday, feel free to upload even that day. And that way we could include their photos.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So if I get you some of the photos that we have uploaded already, do you want to kind of take those and do a test to see what the
Sure.
end product is going to look like?
Yeah, absolutely.
See how much work it is.
That'd be great.
To get that set up. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get those to you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there something on social media about the photos? I know, like, being a student, a bunch of me and my friends just got ours today. I wasn't sure if there was like a reminder on social media.
We haven't done a reminder about photos on social media, Amber, and that's a great idea. We are pushing the ceremony itself, but we could definitely put something out there about the photo submission. Perfect idea.
All right. So I think if nobody has any other questions or anything else, then I think that we're all set. And I'll send a I'll send an update or an email probably either later tonight or tomorrow with the link to the test YouTube premiere, so you guys can kind of see what that looks like using this recording. And then I'm going to schedule it for 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. It'll be a live event, so whenever if you check it out at 3:05, it'll already be running when you click the link. There's going to be, like I said, some live chat functionality and stuff like that. We'll probably make it non-public, so you'd need the link in order to view it. So you guys can just click the link and you'll see what it looks like, and you'd be able to chat right along with us and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
We're going to be testing some of the embedding stuff because we're not really sure. We've never done a YouTube premiere before, so we're going to see what that's like. But that's going to be our test is tomorrow at 3, and then Wednesday at 3 is going to be when we do the actual recording for this. All right.
Right. Great.
Mark or Tom, when you send out the actual recording, I will put a copy of the scenario with it for everyone.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, so everybody kind of knows the order of operations. That's a great idea. All right. Well, thanks everybody for jumping on.
Okay.
Thank you all for being there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye, everybody.
Tom.